What's up, nerds? So I finished the fourth episode of Creature Commandos. I finished it yesterday. I'm a little late, but it's fine. I just want to talk about this show because I really do enjoy this show, and this episode is Weasel's show or episode. And I mean, like in that we get his flashback. These shows, each episode you're going to get a flashback of each character. We've already got the bride, and we got GI Robot, and this one was Weasel. So we have the green flamey guy. We got him. We've got Nina. We'll get her flashback maybe, and yeah. So we've got like 4 more episodes left. I believe this is an 8-episode season. And I am interested in seeing all of these flashbacks / what we're going forward. So in this episode, we've got also what Cersei was talking about in the last episode, because she had a vision. And we're going to talk about that when we get into it. But I did enjoy this episode. This was an episode where we see that Weasel was just misunderstood, and that he's not really evil and everything. But I have comments on that, and I'll do that throughout the show and at the end and everything. But why don't we just dive into this breakdown so I don't waste too much of your time? All right, here we go. So in flashbacks, Weasel encounters and befriends 8 school children, and an old man. He attempts to kill Weasel because he believes that Weasel is a threat to those children. And in the ensuing conflict, the man causes an explosion that kills him and most of the children. But Weasel tries to save the last child, this little girl, but is arrested and incarcerated for the deaths of those children, those children's lives. And the last little girl, she dies in this whole thing. So I wanted to get the Weasel flashbacks out of the way because they're peppered throughout the show and everything, which is how you do these things. And I want to just say I don't know how in this case I'm okay with the misunderstanding of Weasel, just because I don't think that there will be a positive outcome to it, because where does Weasel go if he gets set free? What does he do? Maybe he should be treated a little bit better, but I mean, I'm very curious as to what happens there. Now, in saying this, there is a theory, and I'll say that at the end, but Weasel, befriends these little kids, and their kids are wholesome and everything. So they see this big giant dog-like creature, and they think, oh, look, a friend. And Weasel's not hurting them at all. But there's this old man, this crotchety old man. He sees Weasel, and he's like, it's a monster. Now, instead of checking, because he has a flip phone. I love the flip phone, by the way. Instead of checking stuff out and seeing what's going on, he misunderstands it, and he's like, this creature is hurting these children. So then the children, they get alcohol because, again, they get into the school because it was unlocked, and they're just being children, right? Now they're being dumb, but they're being dumb children because children are stupid. And they end up starting a fire, and the old man comes in, he shoots at Weasel, it causes an explosion, and all those kids die, and him. It was really sad because Weasel goes up to a little boy, and the little boy takes his last breaths, and I was like, that's really sad. I feel bad. But the little girl that he befriends at the very beginning of the situation, she ends up surviving, and the cops show up, and the cops, again, they also misunderstand the situation. And they attack him, and they shoot him, and he tries to save the little girl, and she ends up being, she has all this debris fall on her and dies. And it was really sad, and I felt bad for him because then, the bride and Nina are like, I wonder what he's dreaming of when they're on the helicopter. And she's like, probably chasing squirrels, which is what this episode is called. And I thought that was really sad that Weasel, because his lawyer comes and he can't express, he can't talk what he wants. He can't express what he wants to say. And that's really, really sad. And I did feel bad for him. I felt bad for Weasel because before I was all like, nah, fuck Weasel. He killed kids. And in this, he didn't kill kids. He was just misunderstood. And so I thought that was sad, but at the same time, also it kind of gets me like, does James Gunn have this sympathy for nasty little creatures? I don't know. So in the present, right, Task Force M returns to Belle Reve, where Flag, Waller, and Argus agent John Economos interrogates Cersei, who shows Waller a vision of an apocalyptic future where Rostovik and her army overthrow various nations. We get a new look at John Economos, and he is from the Peacemaker show. He was also in other DC movies, but he's obviously being carried over to the new DCU. And this is Betty Bates. She is from the comics, the Lady of Law. I've never read this comic books. I've never heard of this character until now. But I do love the niche Easter eggs that James Gunn puts in there. Okay, so in this, we get the appearance of the Trinity. We see Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman all dead. Here is a look at Peacemaker from the Peacemaker show and from the Suicide Squad movie, and he is among the dead in this vision. We also see Judo Master and Vigilante dead among the superheroes that are, massacred. I believe that this is Starfire in the background, but I can't confirm that. It just looks like it to me. And here we have a better look at some other superheroes that are in the massacred. With the massacred, we get a look at Supergirl. It also looks like Hawkgirl, Booster Gold, and Damian Wayne, and that with Wonder Woman here. Here's a look at Gorilla Grodd, which is referenced in the Superman trailer, which I will do a breakdown of that later sometime. Now, this vision was very interesting to me because I just wondered how just one small country could overthrow the entire world. And it also made me go, how did this one country overthrow all the superheroes of the world? And I showed you all of the stuff and everything, but the only thing that I can think of is Gorilla Grodd. And like I said before, he shows up in a newspaper clipping in the Superman trailer. But and so I'm wondering if he's going to play a bigger part in the DCU and everything. But that's besides the point. So I'm just thinking maybe Gorilla Grodd and his telepathy is what really, helps out in that situation. Because I just go, how can this, it's like, we'll just say it's the size of the UK. The UK overthrows the entire world. I'm like, I don't know about that. So Waller, she orders Flag to return with Task Force M to Palakistan to kill Rostovik. But he refuses. And when he does that, Waller then assigns the bride with leading the team in Flag's place. So in this, we see that Flag does not want to go back to Palakistan to kill Rostovik, the princess. And the reason he doesn't want to do that is because he was getting that sweet punani. He was tapping that thing. He was like, bad baby, and everything. And he doesn't want to kill her because he was like, that shit was so good. You know what I'm saying? He's thinking maybe going back and getting some. Which will be interesting if that theory that I'm going to tell you about is true. But anyway, so she assigns the bride, but during this, we go to the lunchroom where they're doing that, and we saw a lot of very C and D level villains. In the background here, you can see Warren Griffith. I believe that is who that is, and that is the original werewolf guy from the comic books and the Creature Commandos. If you look here, you can see a look at Orca, who is a giant, a female, but in the comic books, she actually has a relationship and marries Killer Croc, who was in the first Suicide Squad movie, which I'm interested to see if he comes back or not, because I did think that was an interesting look at Killer Croc. Also in the background, you can see Egg Fu, who is in there, and he is from the comic books. A very weird character, but fun to add in there. And those were fun to see, I do enjoy that stuff being peppered throughout in the background of this show. I really like it a lot. I hope James Gunn does that a little bit more in the actual movies, like in Superman and stuff. That would be really great. But she ends up getting tasked with going back and and completing the new mission now. But Flag, he returns home where he is ambushed by Eric, who has been secretly following Task Force M and has come to believe that the bride is in love with Rick Flag Sr. So we saw Frankenstein, right? And he's hired a team to check out, Task Force M and the bride, and he's on that helicopter, and he believes that they're judging him for his falling in love with the bride, which they are. But like, I would like that guy. I mean, like, I would just been like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Can we just land the helicopter? And he kills them, and I'm all like, you're a freaking psycho, Frankenstein. But at the same time, good fun. But he attacks. But he ends up following Rick Flag back home, and he ends up attacking him, and because he thinks that the bride is in love with Rick Flag Sr. And he's all like, she's not in love with me. And I liked how he's like, is your eyeball bulletproof? I bet not. And I was like, that's good. So Flag clears up the misunderstanding, and the two agree to work together to stop Task Force M from killing Rostovich, and he want to help him reunite Eric Frankenstein with the bride. And that's where the episode ends. And okay, so first things first, I don't like this that Rick Flag Sr. wants to ruin the whole thing, because Amanda Waller saw the vision, and I would have sent Flag in there and been like, show Flag the vision you showed me. And then maybe he would have gotten, something going on there. But I don't, and it goes back to the theory that I told you about, and here's the theory. Okay, there is a theory that I want to talk about that I saw online. This is not my theory. I didn't come up with this. But I did want to talk about it because I did think that it was very interesting, if you ask me. So the theory is that the little girl in the flashbacks looks the same as the princess, right? And I'm throwing up pictures here. Now, some people think this is a coincidence. Some people think not. I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences, so I don't think it is a coincidence. But they believe that the princess that we saw in episodes 1 through 3 is actually Clayface, right? And they've taken the real princess. He's taken the real princess's place, okay? But the real princess is got the scars that she has in the apocalyptic flash vision, right? She got those scars in her childhood during that whole school blowing up thing, and somehow she survived. And maybe they'll show that in another episode. I don't know, but but she meets Gorilla Grodd, and maybe we'll see how she meets Gorilla Grodd, and he is controlling the soldiers through his telepathy to kill everybody, because some people would have reservations on that, but Grodd is making them do it, and that magic is completely involved in this entire thing. And so I don't know exactly if that's true. Great. If not, whatever. But if it's Clayface that he was fucking, that's interesting. I'm like, Clayface, you're naughty. But also if it's just I just don't understand. I don't understand why he would want to have Eric and the bride hook back up, because the bride clearly does not like him. But maybe he doesn't know that. I don't know. And I think that going forward, it'll be interesting to see if Frankenstein Eric gets captured by Task Force M. It'll also be interesting to see if they succeed in their killing of Rostovich, the princess. And I'm really interested to see where Gorilla Grodd comes into play here. Like, is Gorilla Grodd really the one? Is he controlling the princess? And that's why she slept with Rick Flag Sr. to get, somebody on her side kind of thing in the Creature Commandos. It'll just be all interesting to see where this all goes. I do enjoy this show. I think it's really fun. I think it's written well, and I don't know, man. I really like it a lot, and I can't wait to see where we go from here, But that's my thoughts on this episode. Again, felt bad for Weasel, poor Weasel and everything. But tell me what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? What has been your favorite Easter egg so far that James Gunn has put in here? Maybe he didn't do it. Maybe, but at the same time, I'm all like, it'd be great if he did. But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind it to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Creature Commandos breakdown and review. You guys have a good day. Bye.